Do you ever feel like you have spent your whole life just digging a hole for absolutely no reason? That perhaps all of your mistakes are your own fault? Well, yeah, that's kind of what I did here, because I am bad at thinking my plans through. And today, I did not need to dig this hole. What frankly I just did with Vein Miner was only in the course of a couple minutes. But, yeah. Hello everybody, I'm Arden. Welcome to another episode of Glacial Awakening. And today we're going to continue on into the end game for this pack and hopefully get a little bit further in. Because today, I think it's time to handle the Oganesson Ingot, which basically requires creating the Alchemistry Fusion Multiblock to be able to build up to this. And the problem I was referring to with digging the hole is there's one ingredient that I thought was going to be a big problem. Because to make this casing, well, we need a whole bunch of tungsten, which could be a problem, but I have almost exactly enough for this. But we need Neodymium, which we can only really make with Alchemistry. And one of the things you can get it from is endstone. And I was like, well, I guess I can just go dig up a whole bunch of endstone and grind that up, and oh, it's 1.4%, which means we get like 1 per stack. Which, I mean, I guess we can do that, but it takes 16 to make an ingot, and we need 108 ingots. So, let's maybe not do that. And then I was like, oh, hey, we actually get a decent rate of them from ender pearls, so I guess I can just go grind on endermen. And you know what? I don't actually like killing mobs, and I finally came down here to go set some stuff up, and I stared at this wall for a minute, and I realized I was not very smart, because I already have a fairly advanced Enderman model for this, and tons of pristine Enderman matter, which make Ender Pearls 6 at a time. So, the Neodymium's not going to be a problem. That's already solved. And we should talk about the tungsten for a minute, because this was the wolframite that I hated mining in the overworld. And we need exactly 108, and I could convert these plates back to ingots as well, but I might need these to make machines, and this should be exactly enough. But one of the ways we can get the wolframite ore, which is where I screwed up initially, is from the end, because this is one of the only places we can get it from. This is where I was like, we can't get this in the overworld, so how the heck do I do this? So thankfully I have enough of that done, so we can go ahead and make all of the casings we need. And there we go, 27 recipes of the fusion casing. So that was a lot of components, but that's the easy part, because now we got to do the slightly more complicated bits, because we need to make 3 fusion cores, which thankfully are just more fusion casings, which that was part of what the math I accounted for with needing the 108. We need 3 nether stars, which thankfully we can get without killing withers, because I realized there was this recipe that just uses soul sand and extraterrestrial matter, which we have, and then wither skulls, which we can get very easily from the loot fabricator. You know, let's just do that right now. 1, 2, 3. Easiest nether stars ever. And then we need these thorium ingots, which, well, thankfully I just need to turn off my fission reactor fuel source for a little bit to generate these. So this one's not too bad. Alright, so while we're waiting for the thorium, we might as well get started on the fusion controller, which requires atomic alloys, which that's pretty basic mechanism stuff. It just comes out of the metallurgy confuser. We've already got the pieces for this. 2 more casings, which we have. A piece of arcane glass, which if I don't have, I can make pretty easily. It's just arcane gold surrounded by glass. I think I have some though. And then the part that's complicated, the teleportation core, which requires vivid alloy ingots from Ender IO, as well as an ender crystal, and melodic alloy ingots. So we'll start with the vivid alloy ingot here, which requires ender pearls combined with energetic silver ingots, which is just an alternate of the normal energetic. It just uses silver ingots instead of gold. The melodic alloy ingot requires popped chorus fruit, which, well, we can get those pretty easily, and then end steel ingots, which we've been making. And then the ender crystal is a little more complicated, because that requires a soul vial with an enderman in it, which I don't have. But since the chests in the end city we went into gave me a couple soul vials, I guess we can just go to the end and capture a couple in case we need them. Well, I was just going to go process some of this stuff right now, but I'm starting to run into some weird issues. This is now the second time I've been caught in my bed trying to turn it into night, and I've had to just crash the client completely. And I've been having some weird issues with being able to break blocks within my own base. I'm not sure what's going on, or if it's some issue with the end somehow. I just don't know. But if we look at the Forge TPS report, I'm not having any real slowdown issues, so I'm not sure what's causing it. If anyone has any ideas, I'm all ears, because I'm not sure what's going on at all at this point. So hopefully I can finish out the series, though. Anyhow, now that we've got the soul vial, we need to combine it with a vibrant crystal and a soul binder, except I don't have a soul binder. Thankfully, this isn't too bad to make, although I actually know wonder if I have the heads for this. This could be bad because I might have to summon some creepers. But we just need a Soul Machine chassis, which is just a simple machine chassis combined with Soul Attuned Die Blend, which I've made before, which is just a bunch of just random junk and soul powder, which is a ground up Solarium ingot, which is just soul sand and gold. So, okay, good. I have the creeper and the zombie head, but that means I need the skeleton and, well, I can get the Enderman head, so I need to come up with a skeleton skull. Or, I can remember that it's the word skull and not head, and I do have, thankfully, one. So we've got most of what we need here. Alright, so that was quicker than I was expecting it to be, but here we go. Oh, but I forgot a capacitor, of course. Alright, and then we can toss the Vibrant Crystal in, along with one of the Soul Vials, and then give it the XP. And there we go, now we have the Ender Crystal. So that leaves us needing to make the Vivid Alloy Ingots and the Melodic Alloy Ingots, so let me get on those. And there's the Energetic Silver, which we just need to combine with the Ender Pearl now. And now we have the Vivid Alloy and the Melodic. And there's the Teleportation Core done. And there's the Fusion Controller. Alright, and now we have enough thorium to make the Fusion Cores, and I'm not going to lie, I actually did a little bit of mining for a minute to go find this down the mine instead of waiting for the laser bays, because this was just faster. But now we can plug all of this in, and yes, I have torches here because this has to be lit up or you end up with zombies inside, as I found out in the fission one. But there we go, all plugged in, getting power, looks like we're good to go. So now what we need is a recipe to get the Oganesson, which requires us to combine a total value of 118 to create it. And I did some looking through the periodic table real quick to try to figure out what was reasonable to do. And it looks like my best options were an Osmium Ingot, which consists of 76, plus Zirconium, which I already still had some made previously, but this is just ground up in the rock crusher from Diorite. So that gets us to 116, and then helium for 2, which is really easy to make in the fission multi-block, to 118. So assuming I understand how this works, we should just be able to put these in here. They should combine together to make, Livermorium at 116. And then we can take the Livermorium and combine it with the helium to make the Oganesson. And now we just need to wait for this to finish. And then we can take these up to the chemical combiner, put these in here, lock it to create the recipe, and do that, and we have the ingot. All done. Much easier than I had expected. But now we have this step done as well, and we're one step closer to finishing the pack. And I expected this to honestly take quite a long time, because I was expecting the Neodymium to be a major problem, much bigger than it actually was. But instead, we now have a completely finished fusion multi-block without too much difficulty, and now we can convert things up if we need to. But I think much like the fission one, we're going to find out that it's actually more limited than I'm probably going to find useful, which is sad. So far, the Loot Fabricator is the MVP for this pack, and I wish I'd done the deep map learning stuff sooner. Not that I really had the power to run it prior. But we're going to call this good for the day, because this is fairly good progress and involved quite a bit of work on my part. If you found this episode interesting and entertaining, please consider a like or subscribe if you're new. As always, I'm Ard. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.